Good evening. Long time no see. Been a bit slack. Well, been a bit busy actually. But yeah, pretty happy to get my open source scan converter. There we go. It's just in boot up mode on the old Amiga 2000. So that's the Amiga 2000 down here. Get you a better view. This little Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. Yeah, I had the this camera here, which also runs the microphone, is attached to a microphone stand, right? And I was wiggling the camera around, and the friggin' microphone stand, because it's clamped onto this desk here, the clamp gave way and the whole lot fell down. Probably disconnected things, so I just had to reboot it. Just to go over that, g'day Neo. I think I got to say hello to you before. Not sure when the mic crapped out, but hello Mavanki. What I was saying was, yes, Amiga. And there's two reasons for the Amiga, still streaming the Amiga. One is I've got the bloody Amiga bug badly, and the other is I've got unfinished projects, you know, which they kind of tie in. But and number three, I've got the new open source scan converter, and I want to dick around with that. So and that's the main reason I went for the open source scan converter, is because although I was capturing PC okay, the Amiga was the big one that wasn't working well. No, this is an 040. That's the 040. So previously, before I changed things around, I'll just get you a better sort of... I've only got one Amiga here at the moment on this bench. So back in the day, you know, like a few weeks ago when I was streaming a bit more, hang on, I just need to reactivate that camera. When I was streaming just a while ago, you would have seen two Amigas here, right? And the bottom one here, which is this one, always had its case on, and the one above it never had its case on because I was always dicking around with it. And so this one's 040, the one that was on top was the 030. And then I took the 030 off and I put the 2500 on with the 020 processor on it, which I've since removed, right? Just because I really want to spend some time getting the 040 to the point where it's got everything on it that I want, you know, and it's running nicely. And you'll see in the mess here in a second how I'm going to achieve that, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, the internals are spewing out because I'm trying to organize an easy way of getting large files to and from the Amiga, mainly to the Amiga. It's all well and good. I mean, at this stage, all I've got is floppy disk, right? 880K max. I can use cross-DOS, which is a DOS file system using formatted, I might be going over stuff that you're already aware of, but formatted 720K disks using cross-DOS for the Amiga. So, you know, if I want to get stuff from the PC, as long as it's less than 720K, right, I can whack it on here. Pop it in one of the disk drives and transfer files, that's fine. But if you'll know if you have dealt with even PC, that if you have got just a floppy based system with no USB, no CD-ROM, just floppies, you'll know that it's a similar situation. It's difficult to transfer files, large files. The thing with the nice thing with the 030 machine that I had on top here with its guts hanging out was I could use the zip drive, because the accelerator card in that machine has SCSI, 50-pin SCSI. So I can plug the zip drive in, I can plug the SideQuest in. The zip drive is really handy because I can plug the zip drive. I've got a Windows 8 machine down here with a USB zip drive, so if I want to dump files onto that, nice and easy, and then I could plug it into the machine up there. But this machine, the accelerator does not have SCSI. No 50 pin SCSI. Only internal. So I've got a hard drive. I'll get you a close look. I'll show you this. It's an abomination at the moment. So truly. Hoping you can see that okay. Under here, so I've got, let me just gonna turn it off there for a sec. In here I have an IDE compact flash card. I might have mentioned this before. So the Amiga normally does not have IDE out of the box, right? Unless you're talking the little Amiga 600s or the 1200s like that there. They have native IDE, so 2.5 millimeter. Yep, little 600 there. That's Mev. That's got an 030 accelerator in it, 50 megahertz. It's a little sleeper. You probably haven't seen that. I don't think what I've done in here, but yeah, I'll get you a close look soon. But if you're not familiar with the Amigas, the A600 and the big brother, the A1200, they've got an IDE controller built into the board, and they came with 2.5 inch likes of this 2.5 inch IDE hard drives. So that's probably, that's out of an Amiga 600, a little 60 meg tidbit, and that's what they came with, right? But the big box Amigas, they were either floppy based, or if you're lucky, SCSI. And this is SCSI. I'll take that off there. And you've probably seen these before, but that card there, that's the accelerator card. As I say, on the other machine, there's a port on the back I can plug my zip drive into. This doesn't. It's got a parallel port on the back, printer, and I think a serial. It's a bit more like PC in that respect. But here you've got SCSI, right, 50 pin, heading down to a SCSI hard drive sitting here. That's a 2.1 gig HP SCSI drive. And so if you want to plug in one of these, which is, a simple compact flash IDE that you see bloody everywhere in the PC world, you need IDE. Yep, same pin out as it is so basically you can plug that in. Pretty sure you can plug it into a PC, like a laptop. I could use a laptop hard drive in my Amiga, like a PC laptop hard drive. So yeah, they are compatible. So to get this working, I need an IDE, and luckily, and I've got a couple of these. This is a Tandem, Alpha Data Tandem CD IDE, and you can see, if it focuses, you can see on the left there we've got IDE/ATA connector, and on the right there CD-ROM. But I've actually had the CD-ROM and the compact flash running off this left-hand adapter, the left-hand port there. And so what I've been mucking around with is getting this compact flash working. Not just that, but I need to get the bloody CD-ROM working. as I say, it was working. I had the compact flash here set to master, and on the same cable down to the CD-ROM down here, which was set to slave. Hunky dory, no worries whatsoever. The issue is, how much of an issue is it? Just thinking. Is that just for convenience, I wanted to have the, I wanted to break out the, so I want to, I want a compact flash on this port here, and I want CD-ROM on this other port here, which is exactly what I connected up. And that's partly why I haven't been streaming for the last couple of nights, is because I've been trying to get that working. What I didn't realise, I've just found out, is I think the fucking DVD drive or the CD drive, which I'm using here, I mean, it just works as a CD on the Amiga, but this is actually a DVD drive. I think it's just crapped itself in the last couple of days, and I didn't realise it because it was working when I had this connected. You know, I had the ROM and I had the ROM and the compact flash on the same drive working perfectly. And then just since I've been mucking around with reconfiguring the cables, etc., this has decided to give up the ghost. I think, pretty sure. It won't eject, you know, like even just with the cable disconnected, power's on, cable's disconnected, you push that eject button a billion times, it still won't eject. No, I've got it set to, I had it set to slave when I was hooked up to here, and it was working perfectly. And then I swapped the cables, you know, I put connected it so they've got a cable each, IDE cable each, left the configuration same. This is master, that was slave, should still work, right? It's got its own, it's on its own cable as a slave. Didn't work. So I set the jumper to master, still didn't work. And then tonight I just realized I disconnected all the cables, so the jumpers then don't come into it. Adjust power on this, it won't eject. It kind of spins up from time to time. When there's a disc in there, you can hear it spin up and then it just spins down again. And then you could just leave the machine alone and a couple of minutes later you might hear it spin up again. It's a bit flaky. So I just went and had a rummage, and I've got other CD-ROMs of unknown, unknown condition. So that's something that I just want to have a wee play with. So that the plant, and the problem with these bloody things is that you're quite restricted to how many power cables you've got, right? And so the compact flash card reader needs that small type Molex, you know, for running your floppy drives. And so I had to disconnect my left-hand floppy drive because I've only got 2 Molex floppy connectors. I don't have any Y splitters, I've got some coming, but ideally, yeah, that's actually why I wanted to split the IDE cables so that I'm not running the CD-ROM and the IDE adapter on the same cable, is because I want to put this down the back here, way down here, right? And of course you've only got that much room. Without having a special cable, you've only got that much distance between your plugs. And of course CD-ROM down here won't reach all the way over here. So that's one thing. The other thing to consider is when it is way down here at the back, is do I really want it there? Considering I have other computers sitting on top of this one, and I don't really want to have to reach around the back try and line up the the card into the slot. Fumble, 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 you can imagine. So what I thought, even just in the meantime, is I'll remove this, just so I can get the lid back on really. I'll remove this floppy drive here. I've got the GoTech, right? And I've got an external floppy just down under this. I've got an external floppy here. And so what I'd like to do is remove this floppy here. And even if that's just sort of in the meantime flapping around in the breeze, of course I'll isolate it all, so it doesn't short or anything like that. Is I'll put this little compact flash adapter, I might even just take this bracket here off, this large long bracket here, and just have the compact flash adapter floating around the breeze in this space where this floppy drive is here. And that way I can put the lid back on. I'll have my CD-ROM hopefully all up and running. I'll have to probably swap that out. And I'll be able to, get files on and off this machine nice and easily. So that's sort of the medium term plan for this machine. So I want to sort of try and get to the bottom of this CD-ROM issue. Yeah, so I haven't seen any options to get the front panel enclosure, but that's a pain. Actually, Evil C, g'day, how you going? You might know actually, Evil C. Do you know if there are compact flash adapter little fascia panels to replace, likes of where the floppy drive might go in a Amiga 2000? I haven't looked, but that would be quite a nice solution to have the compact flash sitting out the front here. So yeah, that's the plan of attack. So really what I want to do now, and I'm just using this, old mouse pad to sort of provide a little bit of isolation here for this compact flash. I'm really just, mocking it up at the moment so that once I get it all up and running the way I want it. Yeah, so probably just need to design something, that just holds this compact flash adapter. Shouldn't be too hard, should it? Just to hold that into the front there. But in the meantime, as I say, just so I can get the lid back on, I'll be removing this floppy disk drive here, and I'll isolate this. I'll be even if I just in the meantime get a big hunk of heat shrink or something, just in the meantime, just so I can get the lid back on. This GoTech needs a firmware upgrade, which I'll work on at some stage. But for tonight, I really want to try and get that CD-ROM drive. See what the hell's going on there. For all I know, I could just plug in a good known CD-ROM drive. Well, the thing is I don't have a good known one, but I could plug one in, see how we go. Because I suspect this one here is not a heavy camper. It's a, you will see, it's a Tandem. Not sure if you've seen that. You might have one already. Tandem IDE /ATA, and so IDE here, CD-ROM here. I've got a Buddha flash as well, so I've got a couple of those Tandem ones and a Buddha. Pretty handy. I did a bit of testing actually by connecting up the Seagate. It's a 545 meg hard disk IDE. You can boot off them too. I haven't messed around with that side of it, but apparently you can. Because I've got the bootable, that 2.1 gig SCSI drive sitting there. The other thing I'd like to do is like a clean install too, because I've been messing around with this install for a bloody long time, and it's like sort of added stuff, removed stuff. It's got potentially a little bit janky. So that's set to master. And so the problem is the installation process it detects, I don't know whether you call it auto, yeah, there is an auto detect. It auto detects the CD-ROM. Jeez, no, just have to find something else to isolate that. What have I got? Mouse pad will do. So I want to get both Compact Flash and the CD-ROM working, which, if I was to be honest, if I'm putting the Compact Flash where the floppy disk is, this cable length here might be long enough, I don't know. But I'm really just sort of being a dog with a bone, really trying to get it to work on two separate cables, because I think it should. And I might have been battling a faulty ROM drive, so let's just see what happens here. Yeah, see, that drive's not ejecting either. I guess that drive could be faulty. That's the problem. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I was just giving that weak power cable a wee wiggle there. Tempted to remove the Compact Flash while I'm mucking around with this. I have seen these cables cause a few issues. I've got another one here. That one, let's try that. I'm using Y cables here, you know, like splitters as well. But that was plugged directly into the power supply one, that one. Nope. Still nothing. Hard drive's running, which is running off this splitter as well. Should really be doing this with a good known drive. Yeah, that's got power. Yep, there we go. The other option I've got is I've actually got a SCSI CD-ROM. So what I could do is I could just go to hell with the bloody IDE CD-ROM run the compact flash from the CD-ROM and attach a SCSI CD-ROM here and run it off this cable with this. The thing is, I'm not sure whether this cable here is long enough to come over to the CD-ROM and back to the hard drive. I might have a cable that's long enough, but again, to be honest, I'm sort of quite keen to figure out you know, why this IDE CD-ROM setup's not working. Now the CD-ROM light's on, solid. This quirky behavior has really just happened since I moved the CD-ROM off the main cable. As I say, I had that as a slave. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but it's possible. How often have you had a faulty IDE cable though? I mean, I can't recall IDE cables going bad. Not often. But it's possible, eh? Hang on. Oh, hang on a sec. We're set to cable select. We are set to cable select. That's not helpful. Set you to master. Yeah. Yeah, the cable, there's definitely, it was set cable select. Light is on continuously on this drive. Don't like the look of that. That's what it was doing before. It's almost like it doesn't like the CD-ROM connector on the IDE card. And so this is the same behavior I had with the other drive, so that other drive may not be faulty. If I just pull the cable, I should be able to eject it, right? Just going to stop the Amiga from booting there. Yep. Okay. Happy. Or do I set the drive to slave? Maybe. I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? You can set your drive to slave or master on a PC. No worries whatsoever. Yep. So the first thing I notice is the drive light's on continuously, and no eject. I wonder if it could be a compatibility issue also. You know, the controller's not liking the drives. Yeah, the thing is, I'm sure it'll work on the other channel. I'm sure it'll work, but if you look at this, so this is the channel I've got it connected to now, right? It doesn't like it. Well, whatever's happening, something's happening. CD-ROM connector. It is for a CD-ROM. I've had this working. I had the compact flash and the CD-ROM connected to this port. With the compact flash on master, the CD-ROM on slave. Happy as Larry. No worries. Plug the CD-ROM into the CD-ROM connector. It doesn't like it. Curious. I'm sort of, I mean, I could work around it just by connecting this to the other port, but it's sort of piqued my curiosity as to what the hell is going on. Why? Yeah, lights on, continuous. Yeah, but that Panasonic is an IDE drive. Yeah, you're thinking of the ones that are like, they had a Panasonic interface for the, you know, you can plug into a Sound Blaster. But this is a compact, whoever made that. Lighton, I think. This is a Lighton, by the look of it. Yes, the other one is a Panasonic, but actually a Pioneer. Ah, it's not a Panasonic. Yeah, this one down here is a Pioneer. I'm wondering if the bloody CD-ROM port's faulty on this card. Oh, controller port 1. Yeah, controller, that was is this what you mean? Connected to this port here, controller port 1, which it works on. That's what I was saying before. It works perfectly on this. Or are you talking about cable, like the first port on the cable? You know, like, actually, I'm going to try that other card in case this card's faulty. Yeah, I know, but pin 1. Let me get in focus. Pin 1 right there, this side, and likewise pin 1. So yeah, got it all connected correctly. Sort of wondering if I'm up against a faulty part. Let me try this. Straight to pin 1, pin 1 here. Same thing, lights on, continuous. Yeah, not really sure I do want to get to the bottom of this, to be honest. I'm tempted just to roll with, guarantee if I pull this, if I swap this here, am I going to guarantee it? If I put it onto this port here, which is an IDE port, yeah, I'm wondering, does it need a special type of CD-ROM? Maybe that's what it is. Although this is an IDE card, maybe this is not for IDE CD-ROM. So what you're saying before, Neo, with the Panasonics, you know, that have a special interface to the sound card, it could be a similar situation, I'm wondering. Nope. Oh yep, lights off, lights on, lights off. Yep. I reckon that's probably what it is, you know. I haven't read the manual for the Tandem IDE. Yeah, so that's what I was about to say is I haven't read the manual for that one, so probably does need a, well, not proprietary, but a specific type of CD-ROM drive. So yeah, been banging my head against a brick wall. Yeah. I was making assumptions, and I should know better. Yeah, that's what I was doing, and it worked perfectly. The reason I wanted to split them out to two separate channels is because of cable length, pretty much. Effectively, what I want to achieve in the long run is to get my compact flash at the back, but maybe, you know, and it's all to do with cable length, but maybe if I do put a compact flash into this machine, I will have it out the front anyway, which I think would be super convenient. So let's just hook this back up. I have to set that back to slave. I've got, or do I might just set the compact flash to slave, that's easier. Yeah, I mean that would explain everything about this, is that the CD-ROM connector needs a CD-ROM specific. Bloody CD-ROM. Speaking of not reading the manual, I'm the type of person that does read manuals. In this instance I didn't, because I was making assumptions, and it's kind of one of those things you're like, oh well, it's no big deal. You work it out. But we just had a shed installed down the back, and the lovely man who helped, I was helping him. He's a builder, right? And lovely man. He's a really nice guy. But I sat down for 5 minutes before he came. I emailed him the instructions for this shed, right? It's a kit set, and we thought, oh, we'll get a builder in. They know what they're doing, and I'll help them out. Blah blah blah. And I sat down 5 minutes, flipped through the manual, and in the manual it's got, you put the floor in last, you build the frame, you put the cladding on, then you put the floor in. And this guy rolled up. I'd emailed him the instructions, and he obviously didn't read them, but he was installing the floor first. And I said to my other half, he's installing the floor first. It says in the manual we do it last. And I said to her, I don't want to second guess him, because he's a builder. I'm no builder, I take it he knows what he's doing. It's a kit set. I guess he knows that you can bloody put the floor in first if you want to. It was all good until it wasn't. The doorstep flashing needed to go on before the floor went in. So the floor went in, and then the doorstep flashing piece he was holding the doorstep flashing piece going, scratching his head going, I'm not quite sure how this goes in. And I'm reading the manual behind him. It goes under the floor, and he's like, what? This guy under the floor? So, yeah, it goes under the floor. So he had to janky the bloody doorstep flashing in. I don't like to second guess people, and I didn't say anything, and I kind of kicked myself now. I should have said, but you can imagine what it'd be like to say to a builder, the manual says that you put the floor in last. You could just imagine, second guessing a professional. So, oh man. So, and that wasn't the only thing. He forgot to put bloody dwangs in the back wall, in the frame of the back wall. Didn't realise it. Had 2 pieces left over, 2 chunks of wood. And I just said, well, it's a kit set, surely, do they give us spare parts? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, they'll probably just spare parts. And then he rang me yesterday, and I'd put 4 big shelving units into this, because I said to him, is it okay if I start loading this shed up? And he was like, yeah, it's all set to go. This is 3 days ago. And so, it was Friday. I put all these shelves in the shed, loaded them all up, spent bloody ages shifting stuff onto them. Got a phone call from him yesterday. Oh, those 2 pieces of wood, you need to empty the shed, because I need to put those in the dwangs for the back wall. Yeah, needless to say, he won't be coming back to do stuff like that. Yeah. Right. Mitsumi. Okay. Does anyone have any Mitsumi drives? Thanks for that. I should have realised that when I started to. I mean, the problems all started when I moved the port, right? There should have been just like bam, you know, it should have rung alarm bells that I think, and so that's what I was saying, is to make assumptions, right? Which is exactly what I did. I thought, hey, this is an IDE card for the Amiga. It says IDE bloody connector there, right? And you'd assume that the CD-ROM connector is IDE, right? Yeah, should have read the manual. Hey, Kasanomi. I was watching, I'm watching your Wednesday last week stream. I was watching that while I was working today. And I know what you mean about the Amigas, cleaning up after the Amiga August. I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to carry on. Hence, more Amiga stuff. But yeah. Yeah. I try not to assume when it's important, but when it's just frivolous sort of little stuff like this, it's kind of sometimes I'll make an assumption and roll with it. Yeah. And some of it's laziness, to be honest. It's like, can't be bothered, you know, reading the manual. I actually thought I had a faulty drive. Yes, a bit silly. Anyway. So basically, no harm, no foul, apart from a waste of time. So I've got the compact flash is working. So by rights, it should work, but I might have done a bit of janking around removing drivers. Well, changing configurations, put it that way. So I'll probably just have to undo what I've undone, if you know what I mean. It was working, then I undid it, and then I'll just have to undo the undo. Oh yeah. I don't think I've got any Mitsumi drives, eh? Is it going to boot? Is the drive going to eject? Hello? Drive's not ejecting. I wonder if there is still a fault with this drive, you know. CDRom. It's not ejecting. Oh, I know why. I didn't change the jumper on the compact flash. So I've got two masters. I've got two masters on the system. Yeah, and that's partly why I haven't been streaming the last week or so, or more, probably more than that. Just been dicking around with this bloody, trying to get this shed organised, and work's been busy, and yeah, after dinner it's just like, oh, I don't know if I've got the energy to do it. I plucked up the energy tonight though. Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Kasanomi, when you're crooked like that too. I haven't been crook. I've just been probably doing a lot more physical activity than what I normally do as well. Is it going to eject? Still not ejecting. Yeah. Oh, and here's a new toy. OSS C. Excuse the look of the 16 colours, by the way. this machine has a Picasso on it, but I'm not feeding the Picasso in at the moment, and I'll show you why. Actually, I think I can just switch across because I've got the KVN. Is that going to? No, it's not going to. I'll show you later, but the Picasso and the OSS, I think the OSSC, I need to do some configuration, and I'm not quite sure how to do it at this stage because I haven't read the manual, and I will. It's, I mean, out of the box, right, this is absolutely fine. I'll just line it up properly so you can see. Right, no worries whatsoever. I mean, I've not had to tweak a thing. This is out of the box like this. Bear in mind, this is capturing directly from the flicker fixer. When I capture from the Picasso, you see where, if you see, where workbench is here, it captures, it cuts the top off to about, I think you can probably just read workbench, and it cuts the bottom off as well. And I'm just not quite sure where you go. Yes, it does. It looks exactly the same. So I've got the A600 set up down here, and I can show you that. Crank that up. She's a beautiful thing. Just works, right? Slightly different setup with the A600. I'll give you a look at the desk now. Bear in mind, this is work in progress. It's a friggin' mess, only because I don't want to sort of route any cables in permanently until I work all this out properly. You know, I don't want to do it all nicely and then pull it all out. So we've got the OSSC sitting here. This arrived today. That is an HDMI splitter. The reason I need an HDMI splitter, I'll crank up this 600 here. Now the Amiga 2000, or the Amiga 2000s that have the flicker fixes in them, right? They will display natively on the screen. So that's easy. The problem I was having was that if we have a look at why is it not working? Bear with. Oh, do I have to? I might have to. I think clicking that flicking that switch on might have upset the capture. I think I need to get it onto a different power board. Just bear with me. Nope. It's not that. Something's upset. When I turned the Amiga 600 on, it was like a little bit of a power. Hang on. I've got no sync. It's weird. Got zip. Got no. That's throwing a spanner in the works, isn't it? This was all working perfectly. Technical issues. The OSSC is picking up the signal. Just waiting here. Computer's still booting. A lot of this stuff, for some reason, I've had to reboot the capture device often, but too much. Oh my tell you what, the HDMI splitter has gone out to lunch. Here we go. The new fancy Chinese HDMI splitter might be the issue. Yep. There we go. Should have a test pattern. Yay! Bloody HDMI splitter. what was I saying? Oh, so this is RGB, right? Straight out of the Amiga 600. Again, just out of the box. Turn it on. No worries whatsoever. So the issue I had initially, which I wasn't quite aware of until I actually tried it, well, you know, put a bit of thought into it, trying to do it, is that I had this set up like this, pretty much so that you know, I could see it on the capture, right? You know, I could see it here, and I thought, I'll play some Super Frog just to see how it goes. And there's this massive delay, and I thought it can't be the OSSC because there's like 0.1 of a second. It's like a millisecond or something delay through the OSSC. And after a bit of testing, it's fairly obvious. It's OBS causes, you know, there's some delay just with the, probably not the capture card, but just the processing, I would say, as it comes into OBS. And so I was thinking, well, I could just play Super Frog and I'd watch it through OBS and it'll be all good. But, you know, like Super Frog or a lot of games require that pinpoint precision and timing, you know, really snappy timing. And so it wasn't practical. And that's another reason why I wasn't streaming, because I really wanted to show off this, you know, maybe do some gaming on the A600 here. And I had to wait for this HDMI splitter. So what I've done is effectively I've put the output from the OSSC out to the splitter, and then split one off to the capture and the other one off to this screen here. This is my, you know, like my secondary daily driver screen. I just changed the input, and if I'm not talking crap, it should. This was working before dinner. You know, like I select HDMI, right, on this screen when it lets me. Because it's getting an output from, there we go. Right, so because this is getting a direct output from the OSSC, there's no OBS or capture or anything in between, and this here I can actually play Super Frog by looking at the screen. And Carcinomi actually suggested that maybe I could use my 1940 monitor, which I could because I've got one, in place of this screen here, this Commodore screen here. That's a 1084. The thing I like about the 1084 that the 1940 doesn't do is composite, because I use quite a bit of composite. You know, like I've got Spectrums that I've converted to composite, and ZX81, and I've got my Dick Smith System 80s, and I'm not sure, yeah, and a QL, Sinclair QL, and a whole bunch of computers that I rely on composite. So it's quite nice to have this 1084 here. I don't really want to put another screen in. So what I could have temporarily even put my 1940 in place of this. Yeah, I guess so. There could be, but yeah, I haven't really looked into that. And so having the HDMI splitter, it's been bloody handy. I just hooked it up before dinner tonight, and it's all working. So I've nearly got this set up here, although it looks bloody messy, and it is. It's a friggin' shambles. Not to mention these PCs under here, I don't even have them hooked up at the moment. I don't even want to go there. The KVM is sitting in this little cubby down here, you know. There's so many bloody cables and crap everywhere. I just don't even want to go there at the moment. I really, when I get back into PCs, I will be hooking up the KVM, but it's going to be a matter of sort of planning this area here, this schmozzle. As I say, once I've got it all dialed in, I've got everything the way I want it, I'll be able to do more permanent setup here. So yeah. So yeah, there's been a few bits and pieces going on. It's good. So you're saying if I go into the sync settings, just wondering if I can capture from the Picasso. Let me see. I'll show you what it looks like with the Picasso connected. Yeah, the same with the ZX81. It's mono as well. I've got like an Apple II and an Apple II clone. They're mono as well. Oh, actually, Apple II might be color. I can't quite remember now. Oh yeah. And I've got the Ataris too. I haven't looked at those for so long. I don't know much about the Ataris, to be honest. So yeah. Is that? Let's have a look here. Picasso. That prefs? Yeah. So if I choose, say, 640 by 480, just to start with, oh yeah, it actually looks alright. It's improved. For some reason, disconnecting it and reconnecting it has improved things. Hang on. Yeah, so if we take that as an example, right, if I use that, yeah, so you'll see on my ViewSonic here, CRT, it's going to be hard to see, but just trust me. The top bar here, so you've got Amiga, you know, Workbench there, Amiga Workbench with the amount of RAM, right, and this white bar along the top, I can see perfectly there. But if we have a look here, see, you can't see it. You know, like even if I, yeah. So you can see prefs. So above prefs here is workbench and then Amiga workbench, the top banner. Vertical back porch, right? Okay. I couldn't see where that setting is. I do remember you talking about back porch, Cassie. Yeah, open the menu. What did you say it was? Sync options. Yeah. V-sync, would it be? Analog. Is it that V-sync threshold? Pre-coast, post-coast. I don't think it's in there. Post-processing maybe? No. Advanced timing, would it be? 800 by 600. That's what I'm set to, right? 60. Back porch. Back porch, 88. That's not doing much, is it? I take it should change in real time. Oh, horizontal back porch. I need vertical, don't I? That doesn't seem to be. Oh yeah. Will this change in real time though, or should I be? Horizontal border. See, the resolution I've got this set to, wrong mouse, is 800 by 600, right? 800 by 600, 16-bit. So surely 800 by 600 should just work here. So these settings don't seem to be making much difference at all. Vertical that's shrinking ever so slightly, is it? Can't even. Okay. Back porch. Vertical back porch, yeah.
Hey, butthead.
Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Shit. That was like 88 or something, wasn't it? I guess I can set it back to default if I have to. It is saying it's 625p at 41.51 kilohertz. Yeah. All it says is AV3 RGB HV 625p. But the card's outputting 800 or 600. Is that? $640 by 400.
Hey, butthead.
So 720. Oh shoot. What do I do? Oh, that's doing something, isn't it? That's horizontal. Vertical back porch. What do I? There we go. That's better. I just need to work that right down. That's set to 0 now. Oh, sorry about flickering that. The bottom's off, so if I...
Welcome to Cybernet.
Did I go the wrong way? I did. Yeah, that's getting there. Yep. I'm increasing the V active there. It's 680. Is that? Actually, that's about right there now. So it gets to the point where it's not changing it's not blanking the screen or adjusting it. There must be a threshold there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, 620 looks like the threshold where it stops actually making any difference. So that's good. So you guys can see the whole screen there now. It's kind of janking the font there though, isn't it? But I guess that's just potentially a little bit more playing around required. But that is capturing the screen there now quite nicely. I guess, yep, that's looking good. And I'll work out how to save the profiles. Potentially I'll need to make profiles for each resolution that I decide to run with on the Picasso. But I am limited to what my little ViewSonic can handle as well. Yeah, I'll probably muck around. So you see how the fonts are looking a little bit off, you know, like the left hand side. See, if you look at Workbench screen there, the H is thin and the right hand side of the H is thick, you know, the dropper. Whereas on the CRT they are both the same width. Absolutely. The thing that's, yeah, but I don't even know whether my little ViewSonic over here would handle that, but I might have a CRT monitor. Yeah, I thought I'd probably end up doing that. But the monitor here, I might be able to actually get a better monitor than that ViewSonic that can handle higher resolutions. I'm sure that the likes of that Mitsubishi that I've got, I think will handle higher resolutions as well. So, you know, if I wanted to push this thing 1024 by 768, something like that. Yeah, see the capture's not even gonna get near it. Let's see if it handles 1024 by 768 8-bit. Oh, it looks horrible. And it's not, the capture's not even getting anywhere near it. What else have we got? So probably 640 by 480 I think is going to be my maximum here. Oh, sorry about that. And now my main LCD screen doesn't like that. That one is okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, so yeah, I might have a wee play with dialing that in. Get that looking a little bit better. See, that's weird. That I don't see that. See on the capture, it's jumping around like that. I don't see that. This is what I'm seeing here when I move that. That's got to be the capture. That's because what you're seeing on this screen here is coming from the OSSC. So that juddering that you're seeing, that's something to do with the capture or OBS or something. Quite sure. So still got CD-ROM issues. And the compact flash is no longer being picked up either. The compact flash should just work if you basically. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Compact flash. Basically, the IDE. If I go to the IDE port on this card. Basically, if you have this AT file in the storage in the expansions folder, that's all I had to do to get the compact flash to work. Oh yeah, that's really horrible, isn't it? When I click it, you know that when I click the close screen, it closes. Yeah, I might have to change that res though. It's not liking it. Capture's not liking that. I don't think it liked that either. That's 8-bit. Yeah. Might be 640 by 480. Let's have a look. Oh, that's still bloody. Yeah, now I need to adjust my is that still flickery though? No, that's better, isn't it? 640 by 480. Now I need to dial in the capture again, don't I? Oh, kind of dark. That's 640 by 480. Yeah, I probably need to have a really good mess around with that, eh? Yeah. .48. It's not going to come right, is it? I should probably leave this. Yeah. I'm almost tempted to just capture the, you know, directly from the flicker fixer. Oops. Yeah, this optical drive's still not happy. There's still something up with this optical drive. It's not ejecting. Yeah. Still think there's something up with this DVD. Just going to put a question mark over that one. And try this other Lighton, compact actually, made by Lighton I think. Let's make sure it does actually eject and do what it should. Yep. Okay. Good so far. The ROM driver is set to slave, and it's going to set the compact flash to master. Yeah. Yes, I do. Need to set that first. Okay, that's still ejecting. It's good. I'll just go in and set that non-Picasso mode. That's the Amiga 600 running there. Kind of cool. Just switch back and forward like that. It's pretty neat. Bit flash for me. Not having to record bloody potato vision. Switching back and forward on the KVM there. We'll use that then. Actually, I should save it. Okay. Right, and not seeing any compact flash action. Let's see if we get some sort of CD-ROM action. Again, using a non-known good ROM drive here. It's probably not a good idea. good thing. Okay. It's not happy. Is that going to time out or not? Okay. Oh man, is that going to take that long each time? This is probably not a very good idea to be doing this sort of thing with a non-known working ROM drive. Oof. Just about be quicker to reboot the machine. The compact flash should pick up because it was before I started dicking around with putting it into that other cable. Probably need to reboot after doing that. But so it won't find anything there. That's my hard drive. Tandem AT. Oh, damn it. Sorry. I'm not even showing you what's going on. It's just locking up. It's not locking up completely. It takes a while to time out on this Tandem CD device. An active cancel button would be handy, wouldn't it? So now it's not even finding the CD-ROM, but we can use IDE Fix 97. Is that going to do the same thing? Do I really want to click that and wait again? Yeah, see, I've just I had this all working and now it's because potentially I was battling with a faulty drive. I've kind of screwed things up, I think. No, I haven't been playing Civ. I haven't been really playing anything apart from Men of War Assault Squad 2 with my son. That was another reason I wasn't streaming, as my son was up to visit for a weekend, and we played a lot of Assault Squad 2. This computer is, until now, has been quite neglected. and this is another reason I wasn't streaming, is I don't really want to flail around like this. You know, it doesn't make for very exciting stream content. I could uninstall this, reinstall it. Let's have a look here. I'm really curious as to know why the compact flash has stopped working. I'm tempted to try doing one thing at a time. So maybe disconnecting this ROM drive, get the compact flash working. This is how I did it initially. But getting the compact flash working was really easy though. You know, once you knew how. It is literally just a matter of putting that AT file in the expansions folder and it works straight away, but for some reason now it's not, and that's another reason I'm tempted to start fresh with a fresh install, because this one's been mucked around with so much. Just, I'm not sure if, you know, how I'll get back to where I was. Changed so many things and I just don't know what it's going to take to get back to where I was. It's a bit of a shame that I did actually, what I should have actually done is taken the hard drive out and imaged it, and I could have just re-imaged it back, but yeah. Anyway, so the light is not on at all on this compact flash card reader here, and I think the light needs to be on at some stage during the boot process. So I'm sort of erring on the side of maybe it's some sort of hardware configuration, but there's not a lot to it. The master jumper is on. Maybe I need to put this at the end of the cable, although I wouldn't have thought so. Never really had any problems with that. You know, even with the PC, you can put a master or a slave pretty much anywhere on the cable, I would have thought. I never really have had any issues with not doing that. But who knows? Who knows? Just checking the power connector there too. Sometimes I've had issues with these power connectors, sort of the little crimp-on terminals that run through the power connector just coming detached there. Don't have any bent pins or anything silly like that. Just can't quite remember the status of this LED when it was working, but I think it used to come on during the boot process. Yeah. The funny thing is that I'm having more trouble getting it working now than what I did to get it to work in the first place. You know. There's something that I've done since when I was trying to troubleshoot it that's really upset things. You know, expansions, that file there, as I said before, bam, put that in there, compact flash worked. That's all I had to do. Yeah. It's definitely not there, is it? I didn't have to run this installer. So that's the AT file there. Chuck that into your workbench expansion, off you go. I mean, I was committed to reinstalling the OS on this machine because, as I say, it's been through so much dicking around. I suspect that fixing it might be harder than reinstalling, and I'm not overly sort of worried about losing. I mean, I could just reinstall the OS and leave all this. You know, I've got files and games and bits and pieces in these other partitions. I did install this IDE fix 97 when I was trying to get that CD-ROM working on the wrong connector, so maybe uninstalling this might help. We'll see. Well, yeah, I can't. Well, yeah, I did swap it, didn't I? I mean, I could be dealing with a faulty piece of hardware. I should put this one back in. This is the one that was working, right? So we've got something different going on here, though. System request. That, I think, is, yeah, looking for a CD-ROM, right? Tandem AT device unit 1. Look at this. Amidoc. Oh, that's the Amidoc loading. Pain in the ass, I never use it. Still no compact flash. Yeah, maybe I should put that card back in because it's a known good working card. Because I did swap these over before, didn't I? Worst comes to worst, I just whack the Buddha back in there. The Buddha flash, it works a treat. But this was working a treat as well, and that's why I'm sort of... The other thing I could be up against is a bloody power connector issue where this is not getting power. I'll just swap these. I guess I could do without a floppy. I've got an external floppy. Still no light. So look. Oh, it's going to have a shit fit about not having a DF0 because it's got cross-DOS. I have to remove PC0 from yeah, I'm not sure which one it would be. Might be board number 3, mightn't it? 1, 2, 3. And that product 11 and 12. That could be the 2 ports, couldn't it? Cool, Kasanomi, thanks. Good to see you. As I say, I'll be working my way through your VODs. Cheers, buddy. Yes, compact flash is working. This complaint here is because it can't pick up the CD-ROM drive. And I suspect if I connect the CD-ROM drive it'll work. Now, all I did was swapped the plug. That plug there was in the floppy, and I just swapped the two. So maybe it's possible as power. Yeah, so Compact Flash is working now. I did nothing except swap those two power cables. So I could be up against a little bit of sort of flaky power connectors. I've got some wire adapters coming, so they should be here soonish. Let's plug this in, plug the CD-ROM in.
It's brutal and inexcusable.
CD-ROM. Hopefully, we should be back square one. Yeah, so Compact Flash, you can see the red light came on right at the start there, first boot. Yep, I've had trouble with these power connectors before. I've also had trouble with the, the bigger ones, you know, for the hard drives. Bloody horrible. They're kind of like, what do you call it when you, it's like when you used to terminate bloody phone cables, you know, you push like a punch tool down between a blade, you know. It's got that sort of setup. Freaking terrible. There's no complaint about the no CD-ROM drive. We don't have a disk in. Let's see. It's reading. Yes, it's working. So basically I'm back to square one. This is it. This is how it was before I tried to separate those two cables. Oh shit. You know what I'm tempted to do now though? I'm tempted to put this other card into just to check that it's working. This other IDE adapter. Sanity check. Should just straight swap. There's no jumpers or anything. It's just what you see is what you get, basically. Yep, lights on the Compact Flash. Yeah, you can get them the wrong way around. The floppy drive power connectors you can get upside down. You've got to be pretty careful with them. I can hear the ROM drive spinning up. that works too. Okay. Alright, round in a big bloody circle, but now I know that it's Mitsumi interface. Maybe I should write it. Write it on the interface, you know, Mitsumi. Friggin' hell. Oh well, live and learn. That's good. That won't run. Surely that won't run in. No. I was just going to play a bit of Hybris. Should play something, eh? It might not like this CPU, that's the other thing though. Yeah, I'm not sure this computer's happy with this. I'm not sure you can do what I did with the 030, where you hold the right mouse button and you can, when you boot, and you can turn off the accelerator. Let's try, I'll just hold the right mouse button and see. I think it's probably just going to boot normally. Yeah. I think there is a way you can boot this machine into non-040 processor. Boot options. No, that just... I wonder if I disable the CPU caches, whether that will let me boot that game. I guess the other thing I could try is hold the left button on boot, or all else failing, RTFM. I told it to boot off DF2, didn't I? Not looking promising. Button. Just hold left button. No, I think it's booting normally. Maybe the 600 might like it a bit more. Let's see. Jeez. Getting a bit pushed for room here. G'day, Scordian. How you going? I'm doing very well, thanks. More Amiga today. How are you going? Nice. Oh, okay, yeah. We're using, this is the little 600 here at the moment. Not 100% sure it will, because this has got an 030 processor in it, and I don't think you can tell it not to use it. Let's just see if it'll boot Hybris. Oh, I haven't had a look at that. That'll be the accelerator there. Handy. DF1. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I should try it with this. So yeah, my 030 and the Amiga 2000, I can disable, but this little Apollo, I'm not sure if I can. If I hold the right button. No, I think it's going to boot normally. Yeah, it's booting normally. Yeah, because it's like vampired onto it, isn't it? Let's see if this works. Just trying to boot Hybris. Just trying to play a game. It's been all hardware tonight. Yeah, it's not looking promising. The other option is maybe it's potentially one of those games that will only boot from, you know, DF0. I wonder. That could be the problem, couldn't it? Let's try DF0. Yeah, no, it's, you know, like it. Hybris seems to be one that's a little bit difficult. Oh, I've got a faulty disk here too. Yeah, WHD load. You download the WHD load, what you think is the full Hybris game, but it's actually just an installer, and it looks for the disk. And when you put this original disk, I don't know whether maybe this is a cracked copy or something, I don't know, on this floppy. You know, it asks to put the floppy disk into the drive, and it must just copy the floppy down to the hard drive. Well, it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, I think that disk is, she's kaput, I think. It's a copy of Deluxe Gallagher. Just want to, do I actually have it on here? Yeah, I do. Does it run? That's the next question. Oh, it's slowing down. Left channel doesn't seem to be. Don't have any firing sounds. Why is that? Switch channels. That's weird, slowing down like that. Doesn't normally do that. It's a slightly different version to the one that I had on that floppy disk. Different sounds. Sounds isn't quite as good in this one. This is probably where I just need to break out the Amiga 500. Just a standard 68,000. I think for shoot 'em up, this is probably my favourite one on the Amiga, and in fact potentially the best in my opinion. Shoot 'em up. There's quite a bit to it. You've got these coins that you have to collect. It's money, right? And you can use that to buy stuff, extra weapons and like extra bullets, shields, or whatever. And you've got this warp thing, right? Just random. And these things here, the more you shoot them, the faster they spin, and when you can tell sort of when they're going to blow up. And they'll release a little, oh, see, I missed it there, that little purple dot that came down. And you can see there's a blue stripe on the side. On the left-hand side, there's that blue horizontal line. See, I just got that pink one. And so you can get like a full complement of coloured stripes on the left. Can't quite remember exactly what it does for you, but and you can also see there's one there, red. You can also spell like extra, and I think you get an extra life, and yeah, it's a bloody awesome game. Like these sorts of games don't really hold my attention for long, but this one does. Super weapon. How much have I got? 330. Rank. I can get another rank marker. Do I want triple shot? Extra bullet, I think. You can only get 2 of those. Extra speed, maybe. Quite handy. Come on, dude. Yeah. Except I think you need to get rid of him to actually finish the level. Oh no. I get to keep him this time. Oh, come here, you little shit. Normally you get this UFO that comes along and fires missiles at you. Missiles are potentially like that. Potentially difficult to dodge. Lots of bullets now. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Game over, man. Yeah, that one is fun. I missed the H. Give it time. Let's see how warm this thing is getting, eh? It's been running actually most of the stream, this computer. I've had the fan on all night. The little inbuilt fan. $37.8. I'll tell you one thing that really gives it a run for its money is Superfrog. 37.8. Yeah, yes, it was when I didn't have the fan installed. It was overheating. So I've got quite a nice little heatsink and fan on it now. And I've attached the multimeter temperature probe to it. This computer, and so playing Superfrog stresses it a bit. And of course the Frontier Elite, you know, that demo, I just had it rolling over and over and over. And yeah, if she got hot enough, it would just crash. If it didn't have the fan on it, it would crash a lot, which is not ideal. It sort of makes you wonder what's, you know, how they would have gone on back in the day without having fans on them, because I think, I'm not sure what sort of solution they would have had for that. Maybe just, yeah, see, does this from time to time with Superfrog. And so, yeah, I'm wondering if back in the day, yeah, it's not happy, whether they just had a really good sort of heatsink solution. I don't know. But even with just a heatsink on it, it gets hot. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe this accelerator's been a little bit cooked in its day. I don't know. You know, before I got it, I only just really have started using it because it was listed as faulty. It was a faulty FPU. Just pulled the FPU out and away it went. there is a possibility there could be faulty RAM on the board, which I don't think. I mean, it could be causing this crash. I don't know, 100%. But if it's going to crash, it's going to crash on Super Frog. Seems to be a good stress test for it. Temperature's not overly high, it's only 38.1, so it hasn't come up much. I don't think that crash is temperature related. Just not 100% sure. But I don't think the accelerator is actually really in use as such in this game. You know, like you can play this on a stock 68,000 and it runs just the same. So I wonder if it's just the fact that the processor's in use, you know, that's it's getting a bit warm, and I don't know, or there's something about this game doesn't like the 030, but then again it runs fine on my other 030. This is the one I didn't know about, that jump to the left there. I accidentally found that the other day. I knew someone had mentioned there is a hidden platform. I didn't know where it was, and I thought, I wonder if it's off to the left there. And bingo, it was. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds about right. Escortian, yeah. I think you're probably right there with that one. It's yeah, as you say, RAM generally just causes a freeze, right? Or some sort of weird garbled. This seems to, it just does that yellow screen thing. I'm not quite sure what the yellow screen means. That'll be a diagnostic screen color, eh? So I don't actually have to get the coins now because I can exit. And you might have noticed too, Escortian, that I'm not using dodgy bloody pointer camera to CRT screen capture because I have an OSSC. That's a possibility as well, I guess. Yeah, could be sitting over something that's overheating. Then again, you know, like I can run that Frontier Elite demo, which really stresses it, probably more than Super Frog. It gets warmer and it goes just fine. I wonder whether just maybe Super Frog's a little bit more fussy. There's something, it's the only one that crashes. It doesn't seem to be thermally related, if you know what I mean. Frontier Elite or the system in general will definitely crash if it's got too hot. You know, like if I forget to put the fan on, or before when I was running it without the fan, they would definitely cause it to, it would definitely crash in that situation. But with the fan on it and running Frontier Elite, it ran for bloody hours. I left it on for hours, just looping that Frontier Elite screen, you know, that that demo, the attract screen, basically. Did I miss anything down here? Don't think I did I? And so, yeah, sort of wondering if it's something to do with Super Frog itself. But you see, after that initial crash, it'll run fine. It's kind of weird. 38.5 is the temperature, so it's not getting anywhere near the like 50 degrees that was getting to, which would cause a crash. And so it wasn't hot before when it crashed, you know. It kind of, don't know, bit of a head scratcher. Yeah. Uh, 2D graphics. It's yeah, I mean this is 2D. So yeah, it doesn't sort of seem to be like exclusively a 3D game necessarily that would cause it enough stress to crash it. As far as just certain games go, I've only ever really seen it crash, as I say, with this. I haven't really played with it much, to be honest. I've only really played this and done the Frontier Elite 2 demo, and just sort of configuring the machine really. And if it overheats, it will definitely crash just when you're messing around with Workbench. Yep, it ran the demo fine as long as it didn't overheat. And it's not getting overly warm now, 38.6. So it's increased by about a degree playing Super Frog, and the ambient temperature here is probably about 20 degrees in this room, I guess. crap. Yeah, so 2D maybe, but I don't know. It probably needs a bit more, you know, like testing with different games and whatnot. As you say, you know, what games does it play up with, but this is definitely one of them. Is that where I went? Oh, okay. Oh crap. Oh crap. I lost my wings. Oh, you bastard. Oh no, not again. Do I really want to get that? I guess, actually. Yeah, need these too. Is that back to the start, isn't it? Damn it. Oh yeah, it's up here. Actually, does it run okay on a 68,000? Come to think of it. Because I've really only run this on a CD32 and my accelerated Amigas. I should try it on a 500 to see how it goes. Shit, that was close. Oh no. That's the start, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. Oh, don't do that. Ah, this way. Bastard dropped a bomb on my head. Oh no! Oh. Oh, you bastards. Four to get. Where the hell are they? Yeah, I make this mistake quite often. This one, forgetting exactly how I should do it. I can see what's going to happen. I'm going to get to the end, but still have 4 coins to get. Because I've already done this. Yeah. 4 to get. There's some over there. How do I get there? Ah. Can I get back? I don't think I can. Wait, down here wasn't it? There he goes, right there. Nearly overshot it. Okay. Yeah, I lost a few lives there though. That, you know, a bit too easily. Somehow you can get down to get that extra frog. Ah, there we go. Oh, is it not there? Ah, no. Where's my niece when I need her? She'd be like, don't you remember Uncle Gary? Ah, missed it again. Okay, well, I know how to get there now. Yeah. Oh, piss off. Oh no. I think you can jump over this door, but you have to, it's really hard with these bats in the way. So yeah, nearly a death there. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite difficult to get through that without, I didn't want to die there. I was on my last legs. Yeah. Yeah. Can get quite stressful, eh? Oh no. Too far. Yeah, sprite floors, pain in the ass. One wrong move. What another life. Oh. Those wings would be handy. Oh. Yeah, whoops. Whoops, whoops. Yeah. Right. I'm going to, I'll head off soon, but yep, 38.4 degrees. Didn't freeze, did it? After that initial crash. And that's what I found when I had a wee go just before tea. I was setting up for the stream and I thought I'd just check that that CD-ROM and everything's working in the 600, and I played a bit of Super Frog and it crashed. Same thing, yellow screen, and then I rebooted and did the same thing and it went fine. You know, so similar sort of scenario twice in a row. It's kind of weird that. Let's see what the temperature does. It's 38.4 at the moment. Runs really nicely on the 50 megahertz, eh? What have I got on the other machine? It's a 25 megahertz 030, and I think we did some comparisons the other night. I think Neo was there watching that too. Side by side comparisons, and the 25 megahertz 030 was a bit chuggy, you know, compared to this. Temperature's not really moving at all. Yeah. One was definitely, and you know, the whole thing was slower. One was definitely more choppy. .5, so you know, temperature hasn't come up much at all. That's a nice way of putting it. Well, the OSSC seems to be running nicely, doesn't it? You know, there was no way, I just couldn't capture the Amiga 600 or the 1200, or for that matter, the 500. So yeah, pretty much what I'm doing here is I'm running out the back of the Amiga RGB into the back of the OSSC via SCART. So it's the 23 pin Amiga RGB plug out to a SCART plug, and so the OSSC is SCART, you know, built-in SCART, bloody handy. And I'm pretty keen to actually just see if it works out of the box with composite, because I've got a SCART to composite adapter, you know, like it's from an old Sky TV box. So be tempted to try my SCART system, my composite systems out. But now I can capture all the Amigas. Yeah, I would think so, eh? It should just plug in and go. I'm hoping. Yeah. So it's up to 38.7 degrees. So it's not like climbing fast, you know. And the other night I just left this running over and over and over. She was fine. If I turn the fan off, my bench power supply up there is running the fan. If I turn that off, just momentarily. There it goes. I don't want to cook it. I've just turned it back on again. So the fan does quite a nice job. Yeah, so I'm going to rip a laptop apart and see if I can get a squirrel fan. You know, it's the squirrel cage fan. Just a bit lower profile. Try and channel some of that air across the heatsink, and that way I'm hoping that I can close the case. That'll be quite nice. Yeah, I'm just not too sure what laptops I've got that have got squirrel cage. I've got a few dead, dying laptops that I think have got squirrel cage fans in them. Yeah, a quiet fan would be good. I can drop the current to this fan, and it quietens it down quite a bit, but it does have a trade-off on the cooling. But yeah. Yeah. That'll make a good heatsink, wouldn't it? A cold cup of coffee. Yeah. And the other good thing about the OSSC is, you know, I can output to a modern screen. Which is bloody handy. So I'm pretty well set up for streaming Amiga now, which is, you know, it only took me a month, right? I started on this journey for Amiga August, and, you know, now we're a good chunk through bloody September. Anyway, I was thinking about, you know, it's not such a big thing here, but I think in the States and that they do like set Tandy. And I'm thinking, well, I've only got one Tandy, I think, and it's a little handheld. But I was sort of wondering whether I should break out the Dick Smith System 80, which is a Tandy clone. It's a TRS 80 clone. And, you know, it's kind of set Tandy then, isn't it? Because it's based on a Tandy. But there's not much I can do with my System 80s at the moment. Yeah, I don't have any modern, you know, quality of life type things for them. Basically, they're just cassette, you know, cassette based. And so it'd really be just a matter of maybe doing some basic programming or something like that. And then saving it to the tape. What were you doing in Upper Hutt a few months back, Neo? Eating coffee or something? Yeah. Was that the recycling place? $39.1 degrees. I mean, it hasn't really sort of cooled properly since starting up the fan again. But yeah, it's Yeah, I'm really happy with the you know, just that ability to capture like this with the Amiga. It's bloody awesome. So I'm pretty well set up for that. It's great. I'll probably stick with the Amigas for a little bit. I've just got a few projects, you know, to finish off, and I want to get this 040 machine up and, you know, running nicely. It's going well now, but I really just pretty much want to run a clean install. Aye. Yeah. Yeah, pretty happy with this little 600 too. Nice little machine. Yeah. Sold it not long after you left. Who knows? Yeah, Plymouth management could have got worse, eh? Yeah, so that's the plan for the little 600 is basically just that squirrel fan. And if I can get that, if I can get the case, you know, buttoned up, screwed up, that's a nice little machine. And as for the 040 here, the plan for this one, the Amiga 2000, is really just to get it to the point where, you know, I can at least have access to the compact flash out the front here. Take this floppy drive out, get access to the even just, you know, put this compact flash card adapter in, just loosely, even so that I can just get files in and out of the machine. This needs replacing. This bloody DVD drive has given up the ghost. That DVD drive there, that needs replacing. This drive here works. I'll possibly just stick with that. It's a little bit faded, a little bit yellowed. Might just give it a bit of a clean. I've got other drives I could put in there actually. And then, so mount that into here, remove this floppy disk here, put the compact flash down into here. It'd be really nice to get like a little panel, nice fitted mount for the compact flash, so I can just have it in the front, nicely, easily accessible. Good way to get files in and out of the machine, or basically onto this machine. And then get the lid on, buttoned up, and that's a nice little Amiga 2000. It's got the Picasso in it, Picasso 2. Yeah, so that's the plan for that one. So yeah, I've got a couple of wee projects on the go for the Amigas and whatnot, so I'll probably potentially carry on doing that stuff. And I want to reinstall the operating system. So what I want to try and do is I want to try and install OS 3.9, like yeah, you know, like clean. So not, because what I would do normally is I would install OS 3.1 via floppy, get the CD-ROM working, and then install this over the top. What I would like to do isn't just install that straight out of the box, but what that means is getting bootable disks that enable the floppy drive, which in the CD-ROM drive, which I think could be quite easy. It might just be a matter of running that, putting that AT, or even running that IDE fix 97. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, blank slate 3.9. Yeah, not that 3.1 does really sort of cause any issues as far as, you know, an upgrade. It is an in-place upgrade as such. But I think it's quite different to maybe doing like sort of a Windows 95 to 98 or something like that. You know, it's probably a bit less to it, if you know what I mean. Probably fewer files get updated, things like that, with the Amiga versions. But it would be quite nice. I've always wanted to have just an absolute fresh install 3.9. So that's probably where I'll go with that. Yeah. So I'll probably get organised to do that on stream actually. I just need to, you know, get floppy disks booting, and so that it, you know, I can enable the CD-ROM drive. That's all I need to do. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, guys. I'm going to head off to bed. Thank you very much for hanging out. Hopefully I'll be doing a bit more streaming. It's not quite as busy, not quite as hectic. Thanks, Escordian. Yeah, good to see you. And things, yeah, it's not quite as hectic with... oh, actually, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stream in the weekend. We'll see how I go, but yeah, I'll be around. Messing with the Amigas more than likely. I might have a little go with that composite, find a computer that would be suitable for composite. Maybe, I think I've got a composite enabled Spectrum somewhere. That I'll probably just connect it up, make sure it works. Yeah. Okay. Alright guys. Thank you. Let's catch you probably maybe tomorrow night, maybe later in the week. See how we go. Cheers guys. I'll just have a quick look, see if there's anyone I can raid. Is there anyone out there? Amiga Live? Amiga Live. Cheers guys. Catch you later on.